Hi there, it's Kevin with the Rogue Market here with today's episode of the Daily Delve, where we delve into the MTG market to look for a potential card to go up in value. So this series is coming back. I took a break. I think we just went through some creative overload of trying to do this every day and wanted to take a little bit of a breather from doing these. They are coming back on a daily basis. We'll get out one per day. Today's going to be a little bit different though, because I'm not going to be talking about one specific card. I'm going to talk about a card that you want to invest around. So the commander lists were spoiled today, and Werewolves was not one of them. This means there are a ton of potential cards that are going to go up in value because of Tovolar, Dire Overlord. The best resource to look for potential specs is to go right over to EDH Rec, look at type in Tovolar. Tovolar will be pulled up, and it will start to give you all of the high synergy cards. A lot of these cards have already spiked up in price, but there are some good ones that will have a little bit of lag before they'll go up in value. But the scarcity of these cards are very similar to the ones that have already been bought out. So I'm expecting even these sub-tier cards to go in the deck to go up at a reasonable amount, and you actually get a better return on some of these cards. So Mayor of Averbrook has already gone up in value. Things like Huntsman of the Felds has gone through the roof. But there are some goodies here like the Croon Outlaw, which does have a spread on Card Kingdom from $2 on Card Kingdom at the moment. Let's see what they're doing. All sold out. Every copy's sold out. But if you go over here to TCU Player, there are still plenty available for this particular card. There's an 8 copy for 82 cents. That's heavily played, but 87 cents for 128 copies right here from this particular seller. It's just a slam dunk of a deal. And if you actually just do a little bit of an equation here where 88% of decks are running this Croon Outlaw, this card's going to go up in value. Card Kingdom's already out of stock. Cool Stuff Inc. is out of stock. This is just a duh pick. So instead of really going over the particular card, I'm going to give you the tools that you need to actually invest in them. I think something like Full Moon's Rise for the foils is a good one. Even the Scorned Villagers for foils is probably a good investment if you look at the spread on Card Kingdom versus the TCU Player to see where it's at. In Skinner Gang, you can see the same thing. Card Kingdom, see if it's out of stock. It is out of stock. TCU Players is only minutes probably away from these cards going up. So I would not wait on them. I'd pick the dull ones up at first. There are a few ones that might be a little more of a things like this Nightpack Ambusher, just because of how recent this was printed, and it was a 4 of in a Challenger deck. This one might take a little bit more to go up. But from what I understand, these two, especially the Instigator Gang and the Moondronin Shaman, as well as the Croon Outlaw, these have not had reprints, and they could have been in some of the intro decks, but these are old enough that even intro decks I don't think are going to affect the value of these cards or the supply of these cards. I've even seen like Rhythm of Wild that's starting to go crazy for this particular one. So I would not wait for these cards. There are probably some goodies too if you go down further in the list with cards that do work around Werewolves, but this is a huge kind of win for Werewolves that they missed the commander deck as far as speculating into Werewolves, because it means that people will be picking up these cards like crazy. Now, this is even just the pre-sales of people that are anticipating building this deck. As soon as people open this after their pre-release, they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to build this guy as a Werewolf commander. This is really the first Werewolf commander that's actually good. The problem with this is the one that existed beforehand was Ulrich of the Krallen Horde, and this card was just so mad because it didn't have a feel. It didn't even have like a werewolf feel to it. It was just like a fight commander. So you could sort of build like a transform deck to help your commander transform, but it just didn't feel like as a werewolf commander. So this is really our first werewolf commander that people are going to have access to, and man, the furries are going to be out in hordes to build this sucker. If you actually look at the sets right now for Innistrad Midnight Hunt, this sucker is being built at a much higher rate than all the other cards that have been spoiled so far. So this is, in my opinion, going to be just as strong as what Feather did to a lot of obscure cards that just work with targeting creatures. All of the cards that work with werewolves that are going to need to go in the 99 are just going to go through the roof. You got to think casual here. You got to think of the furries that are going to build this. They're going to drive these prices up. So I would not wait for them. I'd start going in on the cards that are particularly from Innistrad or Dark Ascension, but even Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon for cards that have never seen reprints in the like lists or in heavy and intro decks or other things, I think are great pickups right now. So we'll be going back to our old format of actually picking a particular card for the daily delves, and maybe I'll do these videos more for like top 10 cards. Maybe I will do a top 10 card to invest in for some of these particular commanders for the channel. So we're reviving this video series, also going to be going back to some of the other scheduled stuff on this channel. So get that like liked and get that subscribe, and that bell clicked. There we go, to get notifications for this channel. This has been Kevin with the Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.